Okay, so multiplying fractions are super simple. They're really simple is because the main thing, instead of like adding fractions, it doesn't matter that we have different denominators. All you have to do is multiply the numbers across on top and multiply the numbers across on bottom. So it essentially comes one large fraction where I have 2 times 4 and then 3 times 5. So on top, 2 times 4 is going to be 6, and on the bottom, 3 times 5 is going to be 15. And that is your answer. That is the most simplified answer you can get because those were the most simplified fractions. However, now come to a fraction that you could probably simplify more. Yes, you cannot simplify 6/7 anymore, and no, you cannot simplify 7/10 anymore. However, okay, you can actually simplify going diagonally as well as vertically, just not horizontally. So I will show you what I mean by that. So looking at 6/7 and 7/10, I see that I have a 7 over here and a 7 over here. Well, wouldn't we agree that 7/7 essentially just equals 1? And 1 times anything is itself. So if I say divide each of this by 7, okay, so I'm dividing by 7, I'm going to end up with a 1. So this goes cross out and this is a 1. So now I have 6 times 1, and then I have 6/1, and then 1 times 10 on the bottom. So now, though, I also see a common factor between 6 and 10. Each of them can be divided by 2. And remember, it's only diagonally this way, or I can only simplify diagonally this way. So if I divide each by 2, I end up with a 3, and I end up with a 5. Okay, so let's rewrite this to make this a little bit neater. This is going to look like 3/1 now because I have the 3 and I have the 1, and this is going to look like a 1/5. So multiply 1/5. So now if I were to set this up 3/1 times 1/5, I just multiply straight across. I have 3 times 1 over 1 times 5, which equals 3/5. And now because I reduced before, my answer is already reduced. Say you didn't do that. Say you had 6/7 times 7/10, and you just went gung-ho, and you just were like, alright, I'm just going to do it anyway. So then you're going to have 6 times 7 on top, and then you're going to have 7 times 10 on the bottom. Well, you're going to have 42/70. Okay, and now you're going to have to start reducing. So if you don't see that maybe 7 goes into each of them, so divide each by 7, or even so, if you don't see that 14 actually goes into each of them, you're going to have to then get, this is going to be 6/10, which we were already with, and then you're going to have to divide that by 2 again to end up getting 3/5. Do both give you the same answer? Absolutely. Oops. But here's the thing. One is going to make your life a little bit easier if you simplify first compared to if you simplify second. However, whatever you feel most comfortable with, at the end of the day, just make sure you get the most simplified answer.